Well, very surprising day today. Blast from the past. Gifts that wasn't expecting. I've got to say thank you very much, Kristen and Jerry. Merry Christmas to you. Really Merry Christmas to you. You are full of surprises, you two, and I'm never going to be able to reward you the way you've rewarded me. I hope one day we do meet, because you're very special people. So, where did we get up to last night? Did we do the 9 worlds? We did the Norns, didn't we? Yeah, we did the Norns. So, the pathway between the worlds. That's a very complicated supposed map of the pathway between the worlds, and how you can use the runes in a very complicated way. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of meditation. So we've got the 9 worlds there on the tree of Yggdrasil as well. So the 9 worlds. The 3 sisters, who were the Norns or goddesses of fate, were not part of either of the divine families. Norse mythology also speaks of 9 worlds that make up and create the universe. These worlds are all connected by the roots and branches of the great world tree Yggdrasil. As well as being subject to the web of the weird. Odin, as a prototype shaman priest, travelled freely through these worlds on the back of a mighty 8-legged stallion, Sleipnir. Likewise, the sorcerer of the northern tribes would go on dream journeys in search of enlightenment, using the runic symbols as talisman and keys to other realms and existence. The first of the 9 worlds is our own, called by the Vikings, as well as those who came before them, Midgard. This means Middle-earth, the world of mortals and humans. Students of the history and traditions of the Norse people have been confused by the fact that later Vikings also described the city of Constantinople as Midgard, probably in the belief that this great metropolis was the very centre of Middle-earth. To the north of Midgard lay Niflheim, or Niflhel, the world of the serpent, Nidhogg, the Noah from beneath. This was the realm of ice and cold, and located here was one of the 3 wells that nourishes the roots of the world tree. However, Nidhogg continued to chew this root to cause the earth to freeze in eternal snow. Jotunheim, or the giant world, lay on the fringes of creation. It was the home of the vast primal powers, personified as giants who wished to bring chaos and ruin to the universe. However, many of the giantesses were more kindly disposed than their menfolk. Even so, the might of the hammer of Thor was the greatest safeguard against the ill will of these titans. Jotunheim was also the location of the well of memory that nourished another of the roots of Yggdrasil. To the south of Midgard was Muspelheim, the world of fire. Here, equally fearsome giants made their abode. These monsters were led by Surtur, who desired to bathe the universe in flame. Again, the might of Thor was necessary to hold the fire giants at bay. In total contrast to these violent realms, Vanaheim, original home of the Vanir gods, was a gentle world of calm seas, fertile lands, and abundance. After Vandenheim was Afelheim, the world of the elves. These elves should not be thought of as small, gossamer winged creatures of Victorian sentiment, but as powerful, mysterious, and wonderful beings who were the soul of nature. Their king was Frey, god of fertility. Svartalheim was the world of the dark elves, better known as dwarves or gnomes. This world was thought to be subterranean because it was believed that this sort of supernatural creature could not stand the light of day. The dwarves made marvellous weapons, jewellery, and other artifacts for the gods. The lowest realm of the 9 worlds was Helheim, the home of the dishonoured dead, a shadowy kingdom of broken dreams and long regrets. The queen of this dolorous realm was Hela, the daughter of Loki. The highest world was Asgard, home of the Aesir gods, and location of Valhalla, the home of Odin and the honoured dead, as well as the place of the other gods. Access to this world was via the Rainbow Bridge, which is what Spirit talks about, eternally guarded by Heimdall. The runic masters of old believed that there were magical pathways between these worlds along the strands of the web of weird. There is a modern recreation of the map which I showed you that gives a close approximation of the routes that these mystic dreams travellers took. Those who are familiar with the Tree of Life in Kabbalistic tradition will detect many similarities between the two belief systems. You may also notice that each junction of the pathway or strands is governed by a rune. The outer strands relate to the first 8 and a second set of strands to the second 8, and so it goes on. So the Kabbalah does look very much like that. And when Spirit talk about we come to a junction, a pathway, this is one of those. And wherever that rune is in your reading is the next obstacle you have to overcome. But as you can see, many times you could go around in circles before you actually reach where it is you want to be. So, what else can I tell you about these then? The first sequence. The runes of the Elder Futhark are divided into 3 groups, each comprising 8 runes in a specific order. The first of these is called Phrase 8, after the beloved god of fertility and beginnings. It is from this 8 that the word Futhark comes. The first 6 runes spell this out in the same way that the Greek alpha and beta give us the word alphabet. The order of the rune row in Phrase 8 is as follows: Feil, Uruz, Thurisaz, Anzus, Rido, Kunaz, Gibo, and finally Wunyo. Phrase 8 is said to contain the secrets of creation and the order in which events occurred at the beginning. Out of the opposing force of fire and ice was born the primordial being, Od Hum La, symbolised by the cow shown in the first rune, Feil, the wild bull, or also the year of the ox, perhaps. 1 minute. Boy, oh boy, it's a day of unexpected visitors today. Where was we? Out of the opposing force of fire and ice was born the primordial being, Ordumla, symbolised by the cow shown in the first rune, Feil, the wild bull, or the ox, the year of the ox. Uruz follows, the next being the giant Ymir, is symbolised by the next rune. Thurisaz means giant. Then the gods came into being, as shown by Anzus, a rune that means God. The gods set the cycle of life in motion, symbolized by a wheel, hence the rune rider. This cycle is also represented as time and the division between day and night, and so we come to the next rune in the sequence, Kornas, which is a torch or a bonfire. This is a symbolic representation of the sun by day and the moon at night. Now the gods, led by Odin, created humankind by giving the gift of life to two trees, the ash and the elm. The rune Gebo symbolises that gift, and also the dutiful gratitude owed by mortals to the gods who created them. With Wunjo, we reach the rune of perfection, because everything is now in its place, and the universe, as imagined by the ancients, Northern European people, is complete. Now those names do change depending on which type of rune you've got and from what area. So we will talk about Fail, the first rune. The first charm is unknown to kings or any of mankind. Help is it named for help it can give in hours of sorrow and anguish. In the Anglo-Saxon system, the rune known as Feo, while the Vikings knew it as Fe. Pronunciation F. This is the first rune of the first 8, so it is associated with beginnings, but even more importantly with property, reputation, status, wealth, what the ancient northern cultures measured by the possessions of abundant herds of cattle. This rune is considered to be feminine and maternal in nature, so probably the nearest is Taurus. According to the sagas of Iceland, which although composed during the Middle Ages, recorded the beliefs of the ancient Norse, the first living creature was a cow called Orduma. This cosmic animal was born from the union of fire and ice that predated the creation of the 9 worlds, coming into existence in an environment barren of nourishment. Ordhumla licked a great block of ice, thus freeing the giant Ymir, who either lay within it or was shaped by the action of the great cow's tongue. Ymir became the ancestor of the gods, humans, and the later race of giants, all of whom existed because of Ordhumla and who continued to be nurtured by her, as are calves by their mother. The belief in Ordhumla as the precursor of all that lives harks back to remote times when the mother goddess was usually personified as a totem animal. In Greece, for example, Athena was imagined as an owl, while Aphrodite was envisaged as a dove. In Nordic culture, the mother goddess is the gentle, milk-producing cow. The rune Feo is also related to some of Ardumla's Vanir descendants, especially Njord and his children, the peace-loving Frey and the amorous Freya, each of whom have associations with wealth and fertility. So we won't go into the meanings because we don't need to do that, and we'll look at Uras tomorrow. Let me know if you're interested in the runes. We'll keep going until you tell me to stop, and then we'll find something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Watch out next for the Feng Shui. Feng Shui. That's another story for the I Ching. Thanks for listening.